Hello and welcome to episode 3 of the Botcast Football Show. Tonight I am joined by Ash Tamblin and Sam Morgan. Hi guys, how are you?
Hello James.
Hi James.
Both okay?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, all good. Yourself?
Yeah, I'm very well, thank you. Now I must apologise if anybody can hear music in the background whilst listening to this. I'm at football tonight watching Mangotsfield under 18s against Clevedon under 18s. So the music should stop in a second, but at the moment, Leona Lewis is blaring out. Right, I'd like to start every podcast that I do with a sort of mental health and well-being check. So, Ash, let's start with you, mate. On a scale of 1 to 10, how are you?
I'll give it an 8.
8, nice and solid, yeah.
Pretty mellow today, yeah.
Yeah, for a Monday as well, so it's not too bad, is it? And Sam, about you, mate?
Probably a 7, just because my little ones are ill and it's a bit stressful. But yeah,
it's
not
stressful
too
when
bad.
they're ill, isn't it?
Yeah,
Hopefully you're better
bad
soon,
overall.
mate. Hopefully you're better soon.
Yeah.
How
How about you, James?
Thank you for asking. I am about a 9 tonight, to be honest with you. Like I said, I'm at football,
nice.
so that's one of the best things, isn't it? Being at football sort of takes
Yeah.
your mind off everything. As sort of like blokes, I don't know how old you both are, but I'm 37, and life can be stressful sometimes. So getting to football and getting away from everything is a nice escape sometimes, isn't it?
Yeah, I agree.
And and it's Monday, which is always a downer, isn't it? But you know, soon be Saturday, won't it? Right, Ash, let's start with you, please, mate. Can you just explain what your role at the club is, please?
Obviously I'm one of the 3 club owners. I'm also the club secretary, and I am the assistant manager for the first team with John.
Right, so you've got your hands full there, haven't you?
Yeah.
And how long have you been with the club? Have you been with the club since it formed?
Since the beginning. So, it was, I used to play for the old team with John.
Yeah.
And then, we obviously, once the club formed, I went straight into my role alongside John.
Fair play, mate. And obviously you enjoy it?
Sometimes, yeah.
All depends if you get a win or not, yeah?
Yeah.
And Sam, yourself, mate, what's your role at the club, please?
So I'm club treasurer and third partinger along with John and Ash.
Yeah.
And I'm also a player. And I tend to help out a bit with the coaching. I wouldn't class myself as a coach because I'm more of a player.
Yeah.
As obviously John's discussed a few times, we've got a young squad on one of the older players. So it's not so much coaching, it's almost helping them. So it's almost part of the coaching, I suppose.
Yeah, because on the podcast I did this afternoon, I think John said you play centre-back, is that right?
Yeah, so my original position's a centre-half. I've played a bit of centre-mid, but yeah, mainly a centre-half, yeah.
And I take it you're still enjoying the playing side of things?
Yeah, really enjoying it. No time to stop yet.
No.
I'll stop when my body sort of forces me to stop, I suppose, or when the team outgrows me, but it's going to be one or the other.
Fair enough. But as long as you're enjoying it, that's the main thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
And obviously when you get results like you did on the weekend for both of you, you can't help but enjoy it, can you?
No, that's why we do it, I suppose. Yeah, it's why we do it.
I mean, it's any level of football, it swings and roundabouts. You've got to take the good times and you get the bad times as well, don't you? So it is what it is, isn't it, in terms of football? Right, Ash, can you sort of give us a sort of background on your footballing journey, history, what's led you to the Bristol United dugout, please?
Obviously, growing up, loved football like every other kid. My dad taking me down the city ground and sort of fell in love with Bristol City. And
We just stop there a second. So you got taken to the city ground and you still love football?
yeah, but to be fair,
play,
it was a false dawn because the first game I ever went to, I think we smashed Notts County 4-0 with Scott Murray flying down the wing, and I thought we were Brazil that day. So
yeah. And then you
little
soon
did I
realise
know what was to come. Like,
yeah. But yeah, sorry, I interrupted there. Sorry.
no, that's fine. Obviously played all through my youth. Played for school football teams, played into adults at various levels. Ended up at the old team playing alongside John and a couple of my other friends, and I've had some bad knee injuries, and sort of the last season with the old club, I struggled on and off with the injuries, and from there, once a new club was formed, I sort of made the decision to stop playing, and John asked me to be his assistant, so that's where I ended up.
Fair play. And do you miss playing?
Yeah, I do.
You do.
I don't miss the pain in the week when I'm trying to work though.
No. And like John was saying earlier that obviously in November is the 8-hour charity match, which he's going to sort of try and take part in. Will you get involved in that as well, playing, or?
Yeah, I'll be trying to play. Yeah,
Can't resist it, mate, eh?
I can't stand and watch them do it for 8 hours. I struggle enough watching them at training.
No, I mean, we were saying on the podcast earlier, it's a long time as well, 8 hours it's a long time to be doing anything, let alone running around playing football.
I think I got a good hour in me with a few breaks, so.
Yeah, fair play, yeah. But again, it's a team effort, isn't it? So,
yeah.
That's good though, that is good. And Sam, yourself, your footballing journey?
Well, mine started a bit different to Ash, and actually growing up as a kid, I wasn't into football at all.
Right, okay.
So I started at about 10 years old, so I kind of got forced to play for a team when I was a young kid.
Right, okay.
I didn't want to do it actually. I was dead against playing football. I wasn't really into football growing up from a young age. But yeah, as soon as I joined youth football, started at about 10, and I never looked back. As soon as I got into it and got the bug for it, I probably got more of a bug for football than most now. So it's a bit different to others, and similar to Ash. I played all the way through youth football, various levels of youth and adult football, and I think I was 22 and ran in. Then injury problems started. I'd done my cruciate 3 times in 2 years.
Yeah.
And stopped playing for, I got out of football probably from the age of 22, 23 up until joining Bristol United. So I'd done a little bit of five-a-side, not a lot of running.
Yeah.
And sort of Bristol United come along, and actually John's son works for me.
Right,
Billy.
okay.
And he said, oh yeah, we started a five-a-side team. And he was chatting about it many a times and said, oh, would you like to come along? And I'm sort of, I'm not fit enough nowadays. I was probably 31, 32. I said, I'm not fit enough nowadays to play football again. And he managed to convince me to go along to five-a-side. And that's where I actually then met Ash. So me and Ash met through five-a-side. And then, Billy kept going on to me about coming and training for Bristol United, and I said, "Oh, come on! Like, I'm not going to get in a team nowadays full of 20-year-olds who haven't played for 6-7 years."
Yeah.
And anyway, he managed to convince me to go along training, which I did, and obviously, met John and met the rest of the lads, and went on from there really.
And the rest is history.
Yeah, back into football. Sort of, what am I in now? I suppose probably 18 months in, back into football, and you don't realise how much you miss it until you come back to it. So I never missed it when I wasn't involved.
Right, okay.
I still watched a lot of football. I followed football, but not playing it. I didn't miss it.
Yeah.
Until I come back and seen what I missed.
All right, I'm with you.
And sort of loving it again now. All sides of it, running it, managing, helping managing the club, and playing. Yeah, enjoying all aspects of it.
That's good. So I suppose for both of you, it must take up a lot of your free time as well for both of you, because it's not a sort of a half an hour a week job, is it, running the football club?
No, not at all.
No, it's not.
And it's quite stressful, I take it.
Yeah, it can be.
It can be. I don't know if I would say it's stressful, because I'm a bit of a workaholic, so I kind of enjoy the bug. If I didn't do that, what else would I do?
Yeah,
so
no, I get
wouldn't
that.
say I'd find it stressful. I'd probably find it more enjoyable than stressful, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, well, that's good. That is good. So your footballing sort of journey has gone full circle, hasn't it? From not being interested to fully invested in it.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah,
and
exactly that.
Sam, you're a Bristol City fan? Sorry, Ash, you're a Bristol City fan, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm more of a Liverpool fan personally, so carry on with Ash, James.
Yeah. Well, I mean, let's start with Ash. Obviously, Bristol City fan. I know we were just chatting before we started recording tonight, and you were saying that you used to have a season ticket and that, and got a bit disheartened with it. Are you disheartened with just Bristol City, or sort of professional football in general?
To be fair, I don't watch as much Premier League as I used to either.
No.
I mean, just the way football's gone in general at the sort of the professional level, especially at the top.
It's not the same, is it?
It's not the same as what I remember as a kid.
No, and do you know what? I do think that part of that reason is it's become extremely sort of professional, and I wish it's become more technical, but that's not a bad thing. But the introduction of technology with VAR now, I really do think that sort of killed a lot of the enjoyment from it.
Yeah, we were. I was with Sam Friday and we were talking about a VAR decision where they're taking minutes to look at the finer details, and sometimes I think if it takes that long to find something, just go with the on-field decision.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. Because essentially that is what they're here for, isn't it? You know.
Yeah.
And I just think as well, like from my personal point of view, my on VAR, all you're doing is taking one person's decision and giving it to another person to make a decision. There's no robot or anything like that that's created that can tell you what the decision should be. Do you know what I mean? I think it's such a grey area of VAR, but at the same time, it's not going anywhere, is it?
No.
Which is disappointing. And Sam, you're a Liverpool supporter. Your views on sort of top flight football?
Well, I'm more of a. If I had to support a Bristol team, and it's not had to, I used to also have a season ticket for City.
Right.
When I was younger, me and my dad and my sister used to go quite a lot.
Yeah.
Probably 2 or 3 seasons. And not if I had to, but my sort of side of Bristol is City.
Yeah.
Yeah, not a Rovers fan, but I don't have sort of hatred for Rovers like
hardcore
Bristol City fans do.
Yeah. No, I can't
I'm
remember if it was
more
on
of a Premier League follower, to be honest.
Yeah, I just, like I said, I just find the Premier League can be a bit. I know it sounds really, really crazy to say it, but I sometimes find the Premier League a little bit boring.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I think with the Premier League, it's because the ease of watching it. So it's always on telly. If it's not on telly, there's other ways to watch it. Sort of with the Championship, if you want to watch City week in, week out, you've got to go there, or you've got to go to the away games.
Yeah,
and that's probably where I've lost touch with it.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. The Premier League is a global. It's basically a television event now, isn't it? More than anything.
It is, yes. Yeah. It's more of a show than it is sort of football, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I don't know if you both watched the Tyson Fury fight the other night.
I did.
But, goodness. It got to the point where I thought about turning it off because it was more like the bloody Super Bowl, wasn't it, than a fight. And it was doing my head in. It really was doing my head in. But unfortunately,
boxing's also going to go that way, isn't it? You know, it's becoming more of a show than it is a boxing match.
It is, and it's all down to money, isn't it? I think that's
money.
That's what annoys me a little bit. But like I said,
obviously the Premier League's no different, is it? It's
not. It's all driven by money.
Now.
Yeah. And I think that's what makes non-league football and grassroots football so more appealing to a lot of people nowadays. When you go, you see the passion from the players, and you get involved with the clubs. Like for example, I'm doing your podcast, and you get that more sort of human connection than what you do at the professional clubs, don't you?
Yeah, 100%.
And just going back to Bristol United, obviously, if anybody wants to know how the weekend went with the game on the weekend. Me and John recorded a podcast earlier where we went through the game in detail, so we won't cover that on this one. But in terms of the season so far, what's your opinion on how it's going, both of you? So let's start with Sam, please.
Well, a lot of this has been covered with John, so we had good ambitions for the start of this year. So obviously last season being our first season, I would say last season was a good season. The only reason I can't call it a great season is because we were so close. And to be so close to getting promotion in a couple of games sort of really cost us. And if we played to our ability, those games wouldn't have cost us and we would have been promoted. And you can't say deservedly so because we never got enough points and never got promoted. But in the same breath, with some of the football we played, we were one of the better teams in the division last season.
Excuse my ignorance, but we haven't covered this, John. Where did you finish in the league last season?
I believe we finished 4th, Ash, did we?
Yeah, 4th by a point.
Yeah, 4th by a point. And,
right, okay.
I mean, there was a runaway leader last season. They didn't end up going unbeaten, but they were very close to it.
Who was that?
It was FC Rangers.
Right, okay.
So they had a really good season, and I've been sort of watching them a little bit this season on the league table and stuff like that. And it seems to be they're rocking the next division up as well, and I'm pretty sure they're unbeaten at the moment now.
Fair play.
And another sort of couple of teams in with us, which was Shirehampton and Yate.
Yeah.
Shirehampton seem to be doing well. They were a decent team last season in our division, and Yate, what I've seen, I don't think they're doing so great this year so far. And we had a pre-season friendly with them before the start of this season. I think that finished 3-0, Ash, didn't it?
Yeah.
And we were sort of high on confidence going into that game. We conceded 3 pretty poor goals and we're chasing the game. But in all honesty, except for the scoreline, we kind of dominated that game, the general play. And that sort of gave me the confidence going into this season. Yeah, I think we can go out there and sort of smash this division and do what Rangers did last year.
Yeah.
And then, the season's gone and started, and we've started not great. I know we had ambitions to sort of, like I said, do a Rangers, sort of try and go unbeaten. I think we can dominate the division. The problem we have with Division 4, which is what you covered with John, is the new clubs coming through. You don't know how good they are.
No, it's true. It's
So it is not a true example of what that division's quality is, because some of those teams might belong in Division 2, 1 senior, and they're not there yet because you've all got to start somewhere, and there's no disrespect to the division, but you've got to start at the bottom.
Yeah. I mean, it's all part of the journey, I suppose, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, during pre-season, we've gone into games that we, on paper, should have got the floor right with, and we've gone out and competed, and in some of them even got wins. And that sort of give us the confidence, I think, to say, we can go out and win our division next season. Yeah, and it's not started great. I think we're slightly turning a corner. I'll touch wood while I'm saying that. We're definitely turning a corner. As John said, getting back to a bit of basics. The lads are starting to believe again a bit. 2 wins on the banks, and hopefully we can kick on, turn the season around, because it's not been a great start.
No, I suppose it doesn't help as well with consistency when you got a couple of weeks off like you have over the next 2 weeks. I suppose because obviously winning the last 2 games, confidence is going to be high, and you just want to get out there and play, don't you?
Yeah, 100% you do.
But I suppose that is the nature of the league, isn't it? So you're you just got to roll with it, haven't you?
Yeah, you have, yeah.
And away from obviously when football's what we're trying to get at, when you lose, does it affect your mood for the weekend?
Oh yeah, I mean, I think there's a good lot of players within the squad where it does affect your whole weekend.
Yeah.
I don't turn up just to have a laugh on a Saturday and play a football match and go home and enjoy the rest of my weekend.
No.
It's like when I watch Premier League football, and if Liverpool lose, I'm stroppy the rest of the weekend. And never mind if Bristol United don't perform, and that's whether I'm playing or not.
Yeah. I suppose the good thing is, I mean, I spend a lot of time doing football related stuff, but at the same time, it is nice to switch off sometimes, and that is where having kids comes in handy sometimes, doesn't it? Because
it does. It can take you away from it.
Yeah, they couldn't care less, could they? Let's be honest, you know.
No.
And Ash, you were saying before we start recording that your daughter's taken an interest in football, so your escape from it is waning a little bit.
Yeah, but I mean, obviously, like with her being 10 and the team that she's involved with being a newly formed side, they don't play competitive football yet, so it's development sort of football.
Right, okay. Is it when they're 12? Is that when they start playing?
Yeah, that's when they start playing competitive league football. But I mean, it's just a completely different feel on a Sunday when she plays. It's the desire to win still there. I still want them to win, but obviously it's just nice to watch them enjoy it and develop and fall in love with football, because it all starts everywhere for everybody, even the top players. They start somewhere. They don't, it's very rare they walk onto the pitch and they're
at the top level,
amazing at it.
Do you coach there as well?
Yeah.
So your weekend now is pretty much taken up just by football and coaching,
Yeah.
which isn't a bad way to spend a weekend, I suppose, is it?
No, it's pretty perfect, to be fair. I mean, especially on a Sunday. I mean, what else would you do? Sit at home and do a bit of housework. So.
Yeah, or watch football on telly.
Yeah.
And the team she plays for, I better give them a shout out, is Red Falcons, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know they got a good setup down there, so it's it's a good club. They play down on Fridays, don't they?
Yeah, the Summerdale Pavilion.
Yeah, fair play. It's nice down there as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a nice setup.
So in terms of the season, obviously, what is it, about a third of the way through the season now for Bristol United?
Yeah, I think it's about...
I don't think we are yet, because we've only played 7, and I think is it 30 games this year?
Yeah, I think it might be. Yeah, I think it was 18 teams in our
I
league.
think we've got quite a few games this year.
Okay, so if we say about a quarter of the way through the season, roughly.
Yeah, rough. It's between sort of a quarter and a third.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not going to try and work that out now, but yeah.
Yeah.
But obviously there's a long way to go, and obviously the ambition for the club is still to get promotion.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, I think it's more than achievable. You know, you got, like you said earlier, you got a young squad, haven't you? Which is good, and I think what's important as well is you seem to have quite a settled squad as well.
Yeah, we do. We do have a settled squad. It's difficult because a lot of our squad's got their best years way ahead of them.
Yeah,
they're sort of 5, 6, 7 years from even hitting their peaks. So they've got plenty of time. If we don't get promoted this season, is it the end of the world? Of course it's not.
No.
Our ambition's to go and get promotion as many times as we can over the period with these players, and I think they're more than capable of achieving that. And it'll be a disappointment this year if it doesn't happen, but it's not the end of the world.
I think that's
we'll still be playing football next season. You know, it's not.
It's not a be all and end all.
No, it's not.
Yeah, and I think that's quite a level-headed approach to it, isn't it, really? Because I think John was saying the other week when I was chatting to him that if you put too much pressure on and start mentioning the promotion word early on, it can have a negative effect, can't it?
I think it has a little bit, if I'm being completely honest. I think we've had a bit of pressure put on players. It's not intentional by anybody.
No.
I think players have put the own pressure on themselves to go out and, as I said, sort of try and go unbeaten, and you're trying to prove a point when really you just need to go out and play your game. And we've gone away from sort of playing our game due to the pressure of we've got to win every game and go unbeaten and get promotion. And it's not that deep. We just need to go out and play football.
Yeah, 100%, and enjoy it as well. I still think that's 100%. Crucial.
Yeah, it is crucial to enjoy it, because if you're not enjoying it, you play bad.
Yeah, it's like anything in life. If you're not enjoying it, you're not gonna perform to your highest, are you? So
no, definitely not.
No, it's good. And in terms of just again stepping away from Bristol United, let's just try and find out a little bit about you both. So, Ash, let's start with you, please. Just a couple of little questions. I know you've done the 20 questions on YouTube and all that. So if anybody wants to know a bit more about if they prefer match of the day or sex or anything like that, then my favourite answer to that was John's when he said match of the day or sex, and he said sex and preferably with somebody. I thought that was quite amusing, to be fair. So all the 20 questions in that are on your YouTube channel, which we'll come to that in a minute. But let's just sort of focus on football. Ash, I know we covered it already, but favourite football team?
Bristol City.
Not Bristol United, then, eh?
I was about to say that's the wrong answer.
Professional team we're going with, yeah.
Bristol United.
We'll take Bristol United as a given for both of you. So, Bristol City, footballing idol, icon?
I've got 2, to be honest.
Yeah.
Zidane and Beckham.
Yeah, again, we were talking about Beckham before we started, aren't we? Because again, on the sort of discussions you've had previously, you said that Beckham was underrated, and it was sort of, you had the mickey taken out of you a little bit, didn't you? And
But I was right, so I don't mind that.
I think you were right. I think you were spot on what you said. So, yeah.
Game of opinions.
It is a game of opinions, yeah. And favourite ground you've been to?
Probably the Etihad.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was quite a good ground to go to.
Did you go there and what City play there, or?
Yeah, so when City played Man City in the Carabao Cup, a ground
started well, didn't it?
Ground I've been to that, it's like the top ground. I didn't really watch a game there, but I took my dad on a tour of Anfield.
Oh yeah.
Going through, like, obviously going into the tunnel and changing rooms and stuff, like, it's an amazing stadium. So
Yeah, the tours are good. I mean, we did Barcelona a few years ago tour, but nothing beats actually watching a game there, does it? Unfortunately,
no.
but it's second best, isn't it? Definitely.
Yeah.
But and one question away from football. I think you covered this on the video as well. What's your favourite film?
The Gentleman.
Gentleman. Oh, that's with the guy from Green Street, isn't it?
Yeah.
I can't remember his name. Charlie Hunnam, is it? Is he in
Yeah.
it?
Yeah, I think that's his name. Yeah. And,
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's like a gangster film, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen it. It's one of those ones that when it came out.
It's a good film now.
Yeah, it's one of those films that I probably enjoy. I just haven't actually got around to watching it.
It's quite a long film as well, to be fair.
Oh, is it? That's probably what put me off there, mate, to be fair.
Yeah.
Anything longer than about an hour and a half, and I'd probably fall asleep.
Yeah.
I'd probably fall asleep after about 5 minutes, to be fair. But yeah, I'll give it a go. I'll give it a go one day. Sam, your favourite football team?
Bristol United, of course. But outside of that is Liverpool.
Right. Okay. Right. And your footballing idol?
Steven Gerrard.
Steven Gerrard, yeah, good shout. He's
He made me fall in love with the game more than anything, if I'm being honest. Not on the playing side, but in terms of Premier League, Liverpool, watching football.
I mean, he is a Liverpool icon, isn't he? You know, he's got to be in the top 3 best players of all time there, I would say.
Yeah.
And
it's hard because players before him, but it wasn't my era.
No, I mean when you see some of the performances he put in for Liverpool over the years, and he gave 100% in every single game, didn't he? And you couldn't help but enjoy his football, could you? Really?
Yeah, I think even sort of non-Liverpool fans, and you go as deep as even sort of saying Man United fans, have got respect for Gerrard and what he did for football and what a footballer he was.
Yeah, I mean when you see like the performances he put in the Champions League final and that FA Cup final against West Ham and things like that, you can't. And even like the goal, I can't remember who it was against. Was it Besiktas when they had to score and he belted it in from like 25 yards? Yeah, quality. Olympiacos, sorry, it's quality, isn't it? You know, and he performed well all through his career, didn't he? And I think the same goes for Beckham as well. You know, there's numerous moments where you can mention for Beckham what he achieved in his career. And like we were saying before we recorded, the way that he sort of, I mean, both of them really. You know, they had times where they were facing critics and. I don't like,
especially his nerdy Chelsea move. It was
well, that's right. He was getting death threats and everything, wasn't he? His family were getting death threats and that. I think I don't like saying it, but I think weaker men wouldn't have had the character to
deal with it.
To deal with it and carry on having the careers they had after.
Yeah.
You know, they are, and what's great as well is both your choices are English.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, and Zidane, I mean, speaks for himself, doesn't he? You know, if you just watch what he could do with a football, he would get in 20 side in the world, and God knows what he'd be worth in today's game.
Oh, he'd be worth a fortune.
Yeah,
I think the Saudis will buy him up for $1 billion, but
well, they're probably buy him now, wouldn't they?
It.
It's I mean, it's top players like those ones you mentioned in. Like we were saying, John was saying earlier that Maradona's is sort of footballing idol, and I just you can't fault any of them, can you? They're all great players.
Yeah.
They are, yeah.
And Ash, from a coaching side of things, is there anybody you sort of like look at and not try and copy, but sort of take any inspiration from?
I mean, looking back on, obviously, growing up is more like, obviously I'm concentrating on the players and stuff, but you know, as you get older and you think about it and think about managers that have achieved great things, obviously you can't ignore Fergie. As much as I don't like Man United, what he did there was incredible. But then probably one of my favourite managers when I was like growing up was Arsene Wenger, like the football that Arsenal played.
Yeah.
And the way they went about it, this one of my earliest memories was that Invincibles team with Henry and all that. And
very good team, weren't they?
no matter how Arsenal sort of did in the league, they were always a team that were enjoyable to watch.
Yeah. And you mentioned Fergie as well. I think he said, didn't he, that the greatest achievement was Arsenal going unbeaten for the season because he never managed to achieve it, did he?
No, he didn't, and obviously, yeah, I think it's hard to say because the game changes, and obviously no one's ever gone unbeaten. But you also look at like the Chelsea team with 90 odd points and sort of what Pep's achieved with Man City and with like over 100 points, and you could make the argument there are better teams out there and better achievements that teams have made, winning trebles and things like that.
Yeah. Like you just said, there's an argument. I mean, John said earlier, is Brian Clough. Obviously, we've gone back a little bit there, but every manager that you've mentioned, you could easily put together a good argument for them being the best ever, couldn't you?
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't personally put Pep in that bracket up with sort of Fergie and that because, I mean, look at the teams that he's managed. The Barcelona team's probably one of the best ever. What the money that he spent at Man City, they're sort of, a bit of a force, isn't they? And
I mean, he's always had money, hasn't he? Obviously, like you said, but Barcelona team was one of the best of all time.
Yeah.
Bayern Munich had a decent team when he went there, and now he's come to Man City and he's not been short of cash to spend, has he? So
no.
But I having said that though, you still got to get a tune out of the players, haven't you? You still got to get them motivated. I probably would say there's an argument to say that he is one of the best of all time.
Yeah, I mean,
I couldn't go in there and do it. Let's put it that way.
Of opinions, isn't it? But
it is, yeah. I mean, I think you've got to be a certain type of character to go in there, be as ruthless as he has been. I mean, one of the first things he did was got rid of Joe Hart, wasn't it? And then he has got a ruthless streak.
Yeah.
But you can't argue that he hasn't had money to spend because obviously he spent billions, hasn't he? So.
I mean, for me, I think the best ever is probably Fergie. In my lifetime, just I think I don't think there's many managers that could achieve what Fergie did at Man United over the time that he did it.
No, and he did it time and time again, didn't he? Like a bit like I just said about Pep. He knew when things were going stale, and he knew when to change it around, and he wasn't afraid of doing it, was he? Not at all.
No, he wasn't. No.
And I probably would agree with you, to be honest with you, that he's probably the best of all time. I mean, I grew up watching a lot of Man United and sort of supporting Man United when I was younger. And yeah, people say, could he do it today? What do you reckon?
Yeah, I think he could. I think if you give Fergie what Pep has had at Man City, he'd have won the Champions League.
But do you think Fergie would make a difference to the Man United team though?
Yeah.
I don't think anybody could do much worse, could they?
Well, they're not doing very well, are they?
I'm enjoying that, just as you can tell from my.
Yeah, I can imagine that. Yeah. I mean, I watched the game yesterday, and it was men against boys, really, wasn't it?
It was, yeah.
And I say it's sad because I think Man United are one of the biggest clubs in the world still, aren't they? But yeah, there we go. I mean, I'm sure at some point their fortune will turn around and they might start winning again. Who knows?
Hopefully not.
Well, I was going to say, clearly you're not worried, are you, in a slightest? So if the club folded tomorrow, you wouldn't care, would you?
No.
So just going back to Bristol United, just to sort of wrap up. Like we said, and I covered this with John, but your social media that you do, which I think is excellent, for what it's worth. Do you enjoy doing all the sort of like videos and all that you've got on YouTube?
Yeah, we wouldn't do it otherwise.
No.
I mean, it's kudos to John with that. He puts a hell of a lot of work into getting this content up.
Yeah.
So, like a shout out to him for it, because would it happen without him? Yes, I think it would. However, you've got to respect the amount of work he puts into it. So us recording it for an hour and a half, we're kind of done then. He's then going home and spending multiple hours then editing that. Is even sort of the game going up. To anybody watching, they're just watching an hour and a half football game.
Yeah.
it's not an hour and a half worth of work that goes in to get that stuff onto YouTube. And yeah, I think it's enjoyable to do the podcast. It's enjoyable to record sort of the story of Bristol United. It's all enjoyable to do.
Yeah.
But there's work behind the scenes. It's not just the fact of we've recorded it and that magically turns up on YouTube. And that's, Jack as well has done quite a bit of editing for us.
Yeah.
That's Jack Gilbertson, and it's one of Josh's sons.
Yeah.
Plays for the club as well, as you discussed with him.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of work goes into it. Outside of, that's not part of Bristol United Football Club, if you know what I mean. That's an additional. We don't have to do it.
No, but I think social media is so important in general nowadays, isn't it? You know, there is the reach that you get, and if you get people turn up to watch your games, obviously that helps a lot as well, doesn't it? You know, and it's nice to have the support as well, isn't it?
Well, you wouldn't have found us without it, you know.
Well, exactly, mate. Exactly, yeah. And like I said to you earlier, before in the summer when the close season was on, there was not a lot of football on. That's when I found the club and started like watching all the I say this in the nicest way possible, the silly videos, you know, with the 20 questions and all that. And then sorry, there's a chance. Oh, he's missed
That's
it.
All right.
He should, for anybody's interested, he should have scored then, but he had it over the bar. But like I said, the social media side of things is so important nowadays. And as I said on every podcast, a couple that I've done with John so far, and all your videos are on YouTube. And also, I think this is a personal opinion, having the VO camera that you've got to film the games is really good, because I wouldn't have thought, and I don't know, but I wouldn't have thought that a lot of clubs at your level have got those.
I've never seen one at a game. We played a cup game last year, and who did we play that? It's South Pemberton.
It's South Pemberton, in the cup.
Yeah, and I don't know if theirs was a VO. I'm presuming it was.
Probably.
But they had a setup, and as soon as we seen it, we were kind of like, bloody hell, that's good. And they've gone and put that online on YouTube. I highly recommend people don't watch it. For personal reasons as well. And,
your idol Snippy, will it?
Yeah. I turned into Steven Gerrard on his last game.
Oh, did you?
I was severely overweight, not many games in, and I had a bit from there. And I think we lost the game 7-2. But that's where the whole. Just to go back on that. What was the team? South Pemberton, was it? South Pemberton, yeah.
Right, okay, that's tomorrow night's for you and sorted them.
It was quite a drive, and luckily, actually, James, there's not much of a video they put up, was it, Ash? It wasn't the full game. It was just
like
a quick snapshot of highlights.
Right, okay, right.
And sort of, I think it definitely triggered someone of, why aren't we doing something like that?
Yeah.
And before we know it, we sort of discussed doing YouTube and looked into cameras to video games and stuff like that, and along came the VR.
I mean, not. I mean, it's not relevant, but they're not cheap, are they?
Oh no, they're not. They're not cheap, especially for a club at the time. What were we? Probably 12 months in, not even that.
Yeah.
But sort of we set our sights on it and worked out the finances of how we could afford it and get the VO. Because the other side of it is, once you bought it, that's not the end of it.
No, there's additionals in there.
Yeah, there's a yearly subscription, and we have to fund that money every year.
Yeah. It's but I suppose that's the downside. Like everything in life is money, isn't it? Everything's cost money. But the upside is that you can put them on social media and again expand your reach to the public, isn't it?
Yeah, so we can expand our reach, and we've used it in other ways. It's not just been for putting video content up. So down Imperial, as you know, that's where our home ground is.
Yeah.
Sometimes they would let us take one of their rooms, and we use it to host sort of all the players in there, and use it for coaching aspect as well. What went wrong? How can we improve it? It's not so much to pick out individual bad moments, it's to improve the squad.
Yeah, that's good. I don't know, but I'm sure most clubs at your level haven't got that sort of facility or that technology available, have they?
No, they haven't.
I've never seen one, and obviously, with some clubs, it's whether they may never thought of it, they may not want to do it. Obviously, we move forward with the social media and stuff, and like as we said with the videos, it's not a chore. Like we've like me, Sam, and John, and the other lads that we talk about football for hours sometimes, and
Yeah.
there's some funny opinions, there's some funny arguments, and you think to yourself, well, why not put it online?
Yeah. It can't do no harm, can it?
No.
Definitely not. And like I said, if anybody's interested in watching those videos, go onto the Bristol United YouTube channel, like and subscribe. Obviously, more subscribers you get, the better. And these podcasts go on there as well, so have a listen to those while you're on there as well. And and try and get along to a game as well if you can, because I'm sure, as always, all supporters appreciate it at games. Like we said earlier, like we said earlier, you haven't got a game for. Well, you might have a friendly on Saturday if you can organise one, but the next league game at home, I think, is on the 25th, isn't it?
Yeah.
It seems like a long time away, doesn't it? 25th of November, but it will soon be here, and it will soon be the C word is being mentioned a lot, and I don't mean the naughty C word. I mean the one relating to Santa. But listen, guys, I really appreciate you both joining us tonight on the podcast. It's been great to have a chat and get to know you a little bit, and we will get you back on in a couple of weeks if you're up for it.
Yeah.
And we'll get John and we'll all get together and have a chat and maybe get a couple of players if they're interested and have a bit of a laugh as well. But thanks for joining us, really appreciate it. This episode will be available probably tonight, actually, Monday night. So please, if you listen to it, pass it on, pass the pod, as the saying goes, and like and subscribe on all the social media channels. As I always say, whatever game you're off to this week, if you're off to a game or whatever you're up to, look after yourself, stay safe, and we will